Hi, I'm Belinda Ben, and in this video, I'm going to show you the 3 secrets to balancing your hormones naturally and losing weight easily during perimenopause and menopause so you can regain your health and happiness. If you've tried different ways to treat your hormonal symptoms in the past and failed to see results, it's not your fault. You just need the right person to explain it to you. So today, I'm going to show you exactly how to do this and how I've been able to help thousands of other women just like you. So here's what you need to know. I'm postmenopausal and 58 years old. Today I'm the healthiest and the happiest I've been in years, but it wasn't always like this. So let me quickly tell you my story. During my 40s, I experienced a dramatic body transformation from being overweight and full of cellular and never exercising in my life to becoming an international fitness model, which gained me media exposure, magazine covers, articles, and features, and a reputation for being able to help 40 plus women get in shape no matter what their challenges. I loved my work, and I loved seeing women's bodies and lives transformed. But then suddenly, just after my 49th birthday, everything started changing. I started putting on weight around my tummy, even though I was exercising and eating the same as before. But I had trouble sleeping and I was feeling anxious for no real reason. But sadly, I didn't take notice of all these red flags and I just kept pushing my body harder and harder and reducing my calories more and more. So, of course, all my symptoms kept getting worse and worse. And I started having dizzy spells and digestive problems. I had painful bloating and gas that got worse, especially at night. And I was waking up feeling exhausted, and no amount of sleep or rest seemed to make a difference. And I kept thinking that things would just get better, but they never did. And the more I searched for answers, the more desperate I became. I went to doctors and specialists, a neurologist, an immunologist, a gastroenterologist. I even had an MRI, and everything came back normal, except for what I heard over and over again. You're just going through menopause. This is normal. In other words, suck it up and get on with it. And I remember the day that I was sobbing in the doctor's surgery, realizing that the health system that I'd always trusted to keep me well through no real fault of their own didn't have the answers I needed. And you know that feeling of watching a car crash in slow motion? Well, that's what it felt like. An almost out of body experience watching my life and my health slowly unravel. And then at that lowest point, when I felt like I couldn't go on, I had an epiphany. I remembered back to when I worked in the skincare industry and how I'd learned that our body has its own self-regulating system, a natural balancing function called homeostasis, and that our body is programmed to restore balance when the physiological processes like our temperature, blood sugar, or our hormones are out of whack. And that's when the light suddenly went on for me. I realized I've been taking a band-aid approach to treating my symptoms, trying to treat each one individually from the outside in, rather than getting to the root problem, which was my hormonal imbalances, by supporting my own body's natural balancing function from the inside out. And it was then I knew it was possible to feel better again. So I set myself a goal of discovering how to balance my hormones naturally without having to depend on doctors or diets or supplements or medications. And I threw myself into reading countless research papers and studying clinical trials on how different foods and lifestyle habits can influence our hormones. And I discovered that we can balance our hormones safely, effectively, and naturally to improve all our symptoms just by making a few simple yet powerful eating, exercise, and lifestyle changes. And now I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. So let's look at the 3 secrets that you must know. secret number one, balancing your hormones with the right nutrition. Secret number two, restoring your hormones with the right exercise. And secret number three, recalibrating your hormones with the right lifestyle changes. So let's begin with secret number one, rebalancing your hormones with the right nutrition. So here's what you need to know. Menopause changes the chemical messages being sent from your ovaries to your brain's hypothalamus, which is your hormone control center. And this creates a chain reaction that affects the balance between estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, cortisol, insulin, and the chemical messages that cause inflammation. And these changes lead to the symptoms that you're experiencing right now. Physical symptoms like hot flushes, poor sleep, digestive issues, joint pain, fatigue, and weight gain, cognitive symptoms like mental fatigue, short term memory loss, and brain fog, and emotional symptoms like mood swings and irritability, anger and tearfulness, sadness, and depression. Remember how we talked about your body having its own natural balancing function called homeostasis? Well, I discovered that if you support the natural balancing function of your body through eating the right hormone balancing foods in the right portion sizes at the right time of the day, you can dramatically improve all your hormonal symptoms. I'm talking about foods like adaptogens, phytoestrogens, anti-inflammatories, metabolic boosters, and mood-modulating foods. When you do this, you'll be able to feel better quickly and reverse your symptoms and feel like yourself again without having to follow restrictive diets or taking a bunch of supplements or medications. It really is that simple. With a few nutritional changes, you can improve all your symptoms naturally and lose weight. So I'd like to introduce you to my client, Lorraine. She's 51 and lives in Canada. She's been a nurse for over 30 years and is married with two grown boys. Now, during her 40s, she began to experience hormonal symptoms like weight gain, higher blood pressure, full body inflammation, digestive problems, joint pain, and headaches. And when we met, she told me she was on a downward spiral and nothing seemed to be working. What's so incredible about her story is how quickly she started feeling better after introducing the right hormone balancing foods for her symptoms and doing less, not more exercise. Within the first week, she was sleeping better, losing weight, finding the energy to get through the day without crashing. And today, she's lost a total of 36.5 pounds and 25 inches. Now, you might be thinking, that's fine for Lorraine, but I just don't have the time for this. And look, I know many of you are overloaded with your family and work commitments, but the truth is, by taking care of your hormonal health, you'll be able to get more done in less time because you're feeling so good. No more struggling with that horrible feeling of dragging yourself through the day at a snail's pace, overwhelmed by brain fog and fatigue. You'll be able to fly through the day, getting what needs to be done because you're feeling like your old self again. The simple fact is, you can't afford not to be taking care of yourself. Okay, so let's look at secret number two, restoring your hormones with the right exercise. So here's where it gets really interesting. I discovered that as estrogen levels decline during menopause, we lose muscle strength and tone and gain fat around the waist. And this matters because muscle and tummy fat has a metabolic effect on your hormones. So if you restore your lean muscle mass and lose weight through the right type of exercise, you'll help balance estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone while minimizing the risk of inflammation, joint pain, and injury. And you'll increase your muscle strength and tone to reshape your body and get rid of the cellulite. Okay, so now let's look at secret number three, recalibrating your hormones with the right lifestyle changes. Now, during perimenopause, you probably notice that your body is a lot more sensitive to physical, emotional, and mental stress, which means things like skipping meals and going to bed too late and not having time to rest or relax will make your hormonal symptoms worse. And the way to fix this is with a regular daily routine that helps to reset your 24-hour body clock, because it's your 24-hour body clock that helps regulate your hormones, especially those related to stress, energy, digestion, and sleep. So, the more regular your daily routine is for sleeping and eating and exercising and relaxing, the better you'll feel. But here's where most women go wrong. Once they know what to do, they simply don't do it because it's their old habits that hold them back. Old habits like skipping meals, especially breakfast, under eating during the day and overeating at night, using shakes and diet foods to try and lose weight, trying one supplement after another, or using alcohol at night to deal with the stress. You need to understand that your body is changing and that the old habits and the old way of dieting just won't cut it. Now, this is actually good news because it's likely that these old habits haven't been serving you well for a long, long time. It doesn't mean changing everything overnight, but it does mean being willing to let go of the old way of doing things. And that means taking a step by step approach to making changes. See, most women make the mistake of having this all or nothing mindset where if I can't do it all, then why bother? If I can't do everything perfectly, then what's the point? And this sabotages your efforts to feel better because it's completely unrealistic, especially during perimenopause and menopause when you're running on empty physically and emotionally. Instead, you need to focus on improving your worst symptoms first by making small step by step changes. And then as you start feeling better, it's so much easier to take the next step and then the next step. And before you know it, you'll be feeling so much better and everything will be so much easier. So I'd like to introduce you to one last client, Vicki from Bathurst, Australia. She's 51 and owns her own business and is married with 2 children. When I first met Vicki, she was struggling with hot flushes, itchy skin, sleepless nights, food cravings, bloating, mood swings, and depression. She told me there were days that she didn't want to get out of bed in the morning. It really was that bad. And the truth was, she just wasn't coping. Now, when you're feeling that low and down and desperate, the last thing you need is a laundry list of changes to do, right? So we took things nice and steady, going step by step, making one easy change at a time. And within 3 months of working with me, she'd lost 10 kilos and was loving life again. She was sleeping through the whole night and her energy levels were back to normal. She told me she felt like a new person. Now, maybe you're thinking, Belinda, that all sounds amazing and I'm happy for Vicky, but you just don't understand what I'm facing. And no, I don't. I don't know what you're facing right now, but I do know thousands of women who faced incredible odds and overcame them simply by deciding not to give up on themselves. And that's why I'm here today, because I've seen too many women rediscover their joy for life and rediscover themselves to let you go. It's time to get in the driver's seat of your hormonal health and take ownership. You're the boss of your body. You need to make a decision that menopause isn't going to dictate what you can do and what you can't do and how you're going to live your life. Caring for you cannot be last on the list anymore. If that sounds good to you, then you'll love my YouTube members area where you'll receive guidance, support, and access to my downloadable nutrition plans, hormones handbook, and coaching videos. To learn more about what's included, just click the link below this video. I'm looking forward to meeting you and I'm looking forward to helping you. To learn more about weight loss during menopause, watch the next video or click the link to join my YouTube members area where you'll receive support, guidance, and access to my downloadable nutrition plans and hormones handbook.